Greetings, people of the world. Mathiagryph back with you as we continue with Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker live here on Twitch. And so, our Warrior of Light Rika is ready to embark on her next journey to help out the various people in and around the locations in Garlemald. Like I said, Camp Broken Glass, and then all the way over here in Tertium. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff for us to take care of now before we return to the main story, so let's not waste any more time and make our way to start helping people. We'll begin with a representative of the Maelstrom, Bartholomew. Or Bartholomew, not quite sure how to go about it, but he's definitely promoting some sparring right now. So we'll take on his quest first, entitled Beasts of the Imperial Wild. Bartholomew in Camp Broken Glass is having a devil of a time trying to keep the stores pest-free. Blast it all! Overgrown bastard got away again. If only there was someone we could turn to. But who? Turn to your right. Oh, excuse me, didn't see you there. Pardon my mumbling. Hold a moment. Let me have a look at you. Those eyes? That steady set jaw? Yes, you're a doughty sort, aren't you? Perfect. You're just the woman I was in the market for. Obviously, we've never been introduced. Warrior of Light at your service. Our comp stores are being pillaged, plundered, and altogether despoiled, which is troublesome indeed, as we've so little in the way of provisions as it is. Fortunately, the thieves left trucks, which the guardian hunters of the area tell us belong to a variety of yeti known as almasti. The wretches are so wily that once they've found a source of food, they come in droves, telling all their other accursed friends. So that leaves us with only one recourse: swift and bloody retribution. I was told to find the assistance of a master huntswoman, but you certainly can't find one of those just lying about. I was fretting over whom to ask when you fell straight into my lap. And you seem as good a hunter as any, right? If you're willing to cooperate, and I'm sure that you are, speak with the Imperial hunter just outside camp. He'll set you on the right path. Alright then. Yeah, now that we're actually making friends with the Guardians, let's go see how this first one is going to give us a hand. Before we do, though, I'm going to go ahead and check this Chocobo Keep off the list. Are you also dressed in a Temple Knight gear? Now this is a first. Ishgard welcomes Lalafels into the ranks of the Temple Knights. Well, there's a first time for everything. Hey Tharia, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. Alright there, Imperial Hunter. What do you have to tell us in the cold? Hold a moment. I know you. Yes, you're one of the Yorzians who was brought to the station, aren't you? That's right. I was told that I would receive assistance from one involved in the contingent's decision-making processes, but I must say, seeing you here comes as a shock. You seem the sort of person as to be above the sniping of vermin. Sure you've the time to spend on such menial tasks? It's part of my job description. Very well, I won't press the subject any longer. Your assistance will prove invaluable, I'm certain. Now then, time is wasting. Let's reconvene in the Ablon Ream, the Almasti's territory, and that's where we'll set up the trap. Alright, away you go, and so we will follow. So yeah, after the big shocking revelation that while the people here have been standing their ground, their contemporaries said, "We've had enough." Where my FC member has said where he is. But yeah, bit of a teaser as to what's to come, but yeah, if you haven't had the chance to see yet from early access when I did that on YouTube, don't worry, we'll make sure that the Let's Play covers everything that was not featured in said early access. Yeah, we have to cover quite a bit of ground in order to get to where the hunter is. Are we really going to, like, I was about to say, are we going to Victor's Spoils here? But no. No, the people down there have suffered enough. We caused them to do inexplicable things. This here is the Almasti's land, and considering how prolific the things are, we shouldn't have to wait long before one comes lumbering by. Ah, but I forget myself. Before we go hunting, here, specialty spirits. Not for you, of course. For them, the Almasties. Drown them in this stuff and there'll be 3 sheets to the wind before you know it. There's no easier quarry to catch than a drunk fool, am I right? Also, once you found one, don't forget to collect a bloody chunk from it. So yeah, looks like we're weakening this thing. Yeah, a technique we do not typically see all that often in this game. Unless you really put in the work and do all the side quests, this is something you do not typically see. Alright. So let's chill out here in a chilly environment. And wait for Big Ugly to appear. Here you are. Not in range yet, but you are now. Hey, slow down and chill out a little, man. Yeah, slow down and chill a little, man. We're not gonna hurt you all that much. We just wanna have a good time, man. Yeah, we'll get down and we'll get high as well. Alright. Let's turn over the chunk to Mr. Hunter. Have you the bloody chunk I requested? I should hope you kept it in a bottle, for I would rather not have gold dripping all over both of us. I didn't know a bottle had to be involved, but okay, here you go. Yeah, here's your mysterious bottle. Good work, I must say. You've quite the mettle to face such beasts without so much as batting an eyelid. Though it was silly of me to expect aught else from the selfsame woman who set foot into Tertium, knowing full well it was a trap. You must be wondering why the blood. Well, the Almasties are clever creatures. They won't willingly wander into dangerous lands, especially ones that smell of death. So sprinkling a copious amount of their fellow's gore about the encampment ought to ensure that they give us a wide berth. Let's head back to Camp Broken Glass. There you can tell the soldier who sent you to me that he was right to put you on the job. Yeah, where did the bottle come from? Alright, let's go and find Bartholomew again. The hunter has delivered word to me already of his plans to deal with our Yeti troubles. How clever a stratagem he's hit upon. If only the method weren't quite so macabre, shall we say. Almost surreal to consider that our whilom foes now aid us in our survival. Today has proven to me that we really can bridge the divide that once separated us from them, and all it takes for us to simply reach out and offer a hand in friendship. I should like very much were this newfound partnership to continue. I couldn't agree more, so we'll take our experience points in 975 gil. And as always, we will leave the blue quest for last. Alright, so we helped out Ilette before, and we're going to be helping her out again. This time she has a quest entitled, The Hero Never Bonds. Ilette has for you a rather explosive assignment. Aha! You do have a way of appearing at the most opportune times, don't you? I was only thinking to myself, if only Rika were here. So, to business. In light of our work to aid the people of Garlemald, the First Legion put to us an offer. The Service Machina is ours should we want it, though, as we've all recently learned, nothing is ever so easy, as the Magitek in question still lies within the city limits. The self-same engineer who gifted us with this information has offered to escort you to the site. That's right, mentioned you by name, even. I would never force you to attend to a task so perilous, but it would be a great boon for our cause were we to wrangle that Machina to our purposes. Alright then. The area in question is sadly littered with detritus of all manner, making exploration difficult if not impossible. To that end, here, these are to blast, bomb, and demolish any barrier foolish enough to stand between our hero and her cause. The engineer awaits you outside the encampment's limits. Find him when you are ready to brave the perils of the city. Alright, so yeah, looks like we're going... Oh, he's not that far. Hey there, Sir Robert, how you doing? You know, always glad to see my Dragoon Master out and about. Hello there, sir. You came. I half expected you might not, given the dangers. Then again, you are Eorzea's champion, and what sort of hero balks at the face of a challenge? Forgive my excitement. I've been wanting to make your acquaintance for some time now. Oh, is that so? Yes, well, anyway. Shall we be off then? Find me at Reggio Urbanissima, and I shall escort you from there. Far easier that way, trust me. Alright, I will see you there. Yeah, we'll go ahead and warp to Tertium, get ourselves there a little bit quicker. I guess they couldn't have done that though, given that they likely would have become corrupted, so... yeah, we're forced to go to an area that is still not safe. Yeah, were you given a warding talisman, if you don't mind me asking, sir? Anyway, my chocobo is blocking me. Well, this is a bother. The Magitek I have my eye on doesn't seem to be quite as successful as I hoped. There's just so much accursed wreckage in the way. We won't be able to drag the thing out. A pickle indeed. Hate to ask, but have you any brilliant ideas up that sleeve of yours? Well, let's ponder this over. Use some explosives on you? That will do the trick, certainly. Alas, I'm not at all skilled in Eorzean technologies, which means there's a distinct possibility I'll blow my hands clean off if I try to tinker with such a device. Perhaps I could leave the blasting of objects to you? Sure you can. And we'll start conveniently over here. Position one right over here. Also, that thing is active. Yes, thankfully it's not feral, but still, it's creepy to have that thing bobbing up and down. Ah, you've made us a path. Very good, very good. Now my Machina can finally get his day in the sun. The poor boy was originally meant to be used against the 3rd Legion to rain death and destruction upon them, but I lied to my superior officer, told them this Machina was too far beyond repair to be purposed for any practical military use. Now it gets a second, far more peaceful chance at life, and I am spared the grief of knowing I had a hand in spilling my countrymen's blood. When I was told to what ends it would be used, I couldn't believe my ears. This was not the Empire I knew, the Empire I believed in. I have been taught that our country's cornerstone was peace, one founded upon the ways of science and machine. How can we make such a claim when internecine strife lays waste to our lands, kills our people? You may be Eorzean, but I see that your heart is true, so I know that you will answer me honestly when I ask. Do you find the Empire cruel and barbarous? Yeah. Those you've invaded no doubt do. Yeah. Are we gonna be that frank with him? Yeah, all that separates our two sides is creed. Or just say nothing. Well, yeah, let's just come out and say it. Yes, yes, of course. It's the victors who write history, and I fear that Garlemald would be penned with no kind hand. We've seen to that ourselves. Even so, I still wholeheartedly believe in our founding principle, unification under the banner of peace. Even though the pretenses that were created as a result were not exactly all that great. Which is why I plan to put this war machine to better use, like rebuilding our city for one. His days on the battlefield will be behind him once my tools have done their work. Thank you for allowing me this chance to talk so frankly, and for all of the pyrotechnics and whatnot, of course. Well then, shall we be heading back? I'm sure your comrade Elias is in want of a report about now. Alright, and so he's on his way. After he takes his little pet for a ride. And so away they go. And so will we. Okay, there, Elias, we're all done.
There you are, Rika. I've already received word from our friend the engineer. He was rather fulsome in his praise of you, I must say. You are a credit to the cause. There was a lightness about him, one I hadn't seen when he first spoke to me. It was as if a weight had been fallen clean off his shoulders. As a member of the Imperial army, he is no doubt conflicted about this state of affairs. Perhaps speaking with you helped him gain a bit of perspective on the whole thing. Who knows? At any rate, allow me to thank you for your work today. We couldn't have done it without you.
Glad I could help, and so we'll take our experience at 975 gil. Now let's go a little further along. We have what appears to be 2 around the opposite side of this building, or maybe even between. Nope, they're both over here. So we'll begin with this contingent scouts to take on his quest entitled In the Skies Above Garlemald. A member of the contingent's reconnaissance force is looking for an intrepid soul willing to sit astride Magitek armor. Salutations, Rika. Forget the abrupt nature of my question, but have you ever sat astride Magitek armor? Yeah, I have. Fantastic. If anyone were to have such experience, I knew it would be you. The reason for my asking is simple. We wish to get an aerial view of the city to assess damages. A Magitek pilot belonging to the 1st Legion was kind enough to suggest we use one of their flying units to conduct our survey. Alas, the person we initially requested for this assignment has been injured and rendered unable to board the armor. Fortunately, I have found you, or rather, you have found me, as it were. This Magitek pilot I spoke of awaits you at Limnol Station 4. You'll find him performing maintenance on the armor you'll be using. He will get you set up. Alright, and since it's basically about halfway between both of the Aetherites, we pretty much have no choice but to just go. Hey look, we found cars! Yeah, how did that slip by our notice? Well, we were on the opposite side, but yeah. Garlemald even has cars. Hello, sir. Well, well, well. Eosia's very own hero herself is to be our pilot? Then again, accomplished aviators such as yourself are thin on the ground these days. I suppose they had to turn to you. I've heard some fascinating stories about you, you know. Is it true you rode an ancient Allegan war machina into battle against the 7th Legion? Seemed far-fetched, but now that I've gotten a good look at you, I can see there may be some truth to the tale. Yeah, I'll go along with that. But let us turn to the business at hand. The Ilsabard contingent has requested that we ascertain the level of damage the city has sustained, and the only real way to get a proper handle on the situation is from above. However, there are still hosts of autonomous machines lurking in the streets, and they won't hesitate to shoot down an unidentified craft, which is where the 1st Legion's Magitek comes in. So long as we remain inside this armor, we needn't fear attack from the ground. When your loins are sufficiently girded for your trip among the clouds, just say the word. Yeah, I'm all set. Not to scare you off, as this mission is of great importance to us, but I hope you've some idea of what you are about to embark upon. You'll be wheeling through the sky in what is essentially a metal bucket. If that hasn't unnerved you, I'm ready when you are. Are you ready, board? Yeah. Let's see what we got. Then let us be on our way. Yeah. All aboard, and this thing is on autopilot. So let's pan out and give ourselves a perspective here. As we fly into the snowstorm. We shall start our survey from the north. A word of warning though. From above, the extent of the damage will seem much greater than what you expected. It may come as something of a shock. Well, let's get a full look. Yeah, there basically isn't a single damaged building. See that overpass there? It looks like it might collapse at any moment. A single chocobo feather could see it crumble to dust, I reckon. We shall cordon it off and ensure that none of ours attempts to enter the area. And as we're doing this hover, we're accessing more locations as we get closer and closer to the palace. And get ourselves a look. This is Palatium Novum. Though it is in a sorry state now, it tells of once the symbols of our empire, symbols of the progress we could achieve. I am inclined to enter the structure proper to examine the extent of the devastation from within. Sadly, we are still too few in number for such an undertaking. It will have to wait. Yeah, have you ever seen us get free experience like this before? Oh, hello there, vantage point. Look there. This looks largely intact, which is little wonder. The building, which dates back to the era of the Republic, is said to be constructed from materials meant to ward. Cleaning out all our buildings was erected with such a design philosophy. We foolishly assumed that war machina defending us will make up for less than ideal structural integrity. You can see what cutting corners cost us. With that, I say we hit all the carry areas for the city, for the most part. Let's return to count broken glass, shall we? Alright. Yeah, he was talking real fast. Yeah, we're really just getting a free ride back over? Thank you for joining me in the skies today, Rika. Glad I could come along. Yeah, think nothing of it. I confess, I've been on my guard around you, Eorzean lot. You're not the only one to think that. It has been beaten into my skull that you are, and will always be, my enemy. Spending time with you today, however, has made me realize that you are truly here to help us, not harm us. As we have a look again. To be honest, your contingent support has been a bright spot in this gloom. It is easy to fall prey to hopelessness, but we've a responsibility to fight on, do we not? We are all of us living on this star, and who else can see it brought back from the brink of ruin? Many of us have lost families, friends, loved ones. Grief hangs heavy on the Empire. We need time to lick our wounds, but that does not mean we are without the fire of determination. We wish to see our home restored to its former glory, but preferably not without the whole invasion angle. That is part of the reason why I decided to undertake this task, actually. I wanted to better understand not only the road ahead for the Empire, but to see for myself the stuff you Eorzeans are made of. Enough sentimentality though, there's still much to be done here, and this armor won't repair itself. Would you mind reporting back to the reconnaissance officer who assigned you to this task and tell him of our findings? Of course. Alright, so that's all taken care of. And we'll see what the scout has to say about everything. We'll pass by you for a moment, but only just for a moment since we finish with the scouts. You've flown through the skies above Garlemald and lived to tell the tale. How was the Imperial pilot? I can't imagine how difficult it must be to look down on such wreckage and know that it was once your home, but I'm sure your presence was a comfort to him. It'll take a great deal of hard work and elbow grease to see the city restored, but I've all the faith in the world that we can see it done. I only hope that our efforts here can bring about an alliance between our realms. I hope so too. And so we'll take our experience points, our 815 gil, plus 2 portions of King Crab Cake, which turns out to be a melee DPS type of food. I can definitely get behind this. And so away he goes. Before we move on though, I do want to speak with Sir Alberic again. As a knight, I am in sworn service to the people. Thus shall I commit myself to the protection of all those who haven't the arms to defend themselves, whomsoever they may be. Do me proud there, Sir Alberic. And so now, let's move on to speak with Manuki, representing the people of Suino Sato, and we'll get his quest entitled, Help Me to Help You. Are we doing the Jerry Maguire thing here? Manuki's worried expression rather spoils his otherwise formidable appearance. I have a question. Do I look imposing? Intimidating, perhaps? Really? I really feel that way about this guy? Soy, you must think it strange I would ask such a thing. The truth is, I encountered a boy near one of the storerooms, and when I called out to him, he ran away at the sight of me. I was only trying to lend a helping hand. Later on, I learned that the place was used as a granary, so the lad was most likely searching for food. Now, thanks to me scaring him off, he's probably had to go hungry. I couldn't live with myself if he starved because of me, though I fear he'd only run off if I tried to approach him. I wonder, perhaps he wouldn't mind going in my stead? Here, you may find him more easily with this telescope. May the kami guide you. Well, there's no question that he was very successful, but yeah, where outside of where you live, Tharya, he does not have a very glowing reputation. I know you're looking at him because he's your countryman, but in the eyes of the rest of the world, we do not hold him in very high regard. So, let's see if we can find this missing boy. And once you know it, there he is. lugging around a crate. Thankfully, he was moving slow enough that I could spot him easily. So away he goes over there. You spot the boy carrying a crate in the direction of Liminal Station 4. Going back there again, huh? Alright then. Back to Liminal Station 4. But yeah, unless you're from where you live, Tharia, or if you're a fan of Ferrari, you're not someone who really likes Michael Schumacher. Hey there, Elizabeth. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. So let's head on over to where the boy went to. See if we can possibly find him behind this pillar, perhaps? Indeed. Hello.
What do you want?
Don't worry, we're not here to scare you.
Saw me, did you? So what? I didn't do anything wrong. Finders keepers. And this food ain't just for me. The others need it too. I know you're just trying to help, but we can look after ourselves. If your friend's worried about us, tell him we'll be alright. Unless this food runs out anyway.
Alright then. But don't come crying to us if you end up regretting your decision to shun us. I mean, we know how many of you were doing that beforehand. Did you manage to track him down? We did indeed. That's a relief, though his outright refusal of our help is concerning. We came here with the best intentions, but barely a moment's consideration for how the people of Garlemald might feel towards us. I suppose it's only natural they'd be wary. If they won't accept our aid, we can still make their lives a little easier. We'll start by making the area around the granary safer so they can gather food whenever they please. Here, I'd like you to have this for giving me peace of mind. And so we'll take our 178,200 experience points and 735 gil. And that's checked off. So, let's continue on.